Welcome to Behind the Business. I'm your host, Club King, where we bring amazing entrepreneurs, small and large business owners, and talented people on the show and do a deep dive into the business to see how they got started, what goals they accomplished, and struggles they overcame. Today, I have a very, very, very special guest. Honored to announce this guy. I've seen him in rooms and shake rooms up literally with what he does with his talents. Welcome to the show, Jay Torres. Man, how you doing?
I'm good. Appreciate you for having me out here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm excited that you're here. I want to really dive into who Jay Torres is, right? We've seen each other in different rooms. We've frequently just been working together, right? Collaborating, been pretty good as well. But let's dive in. So, where is Jay Torres from?
So originally I moved out to Lancaster, Pennsylvania when I was 4, and I pretty much just been rocking out here ever since. So,
from where?
I was originally raised in New Jersey. Moved out here when I was about 4 years old, out into Lancaster County, and I just been in Lancaster ever since then. Never just stayed here. Just fits me. It's who I am out here.
Right. Okay. And when you came out here and so you graduated in Lancaster or just after?
Yeah, nah. So I graduated at Pequay Valley.
Okay. So how was it when you came from Jersey? You're in Lancaster. You graduate high school, and you're about to go out into the world, right? At that time, if you can remember, where was your mindset then? Was it college? Was it, I'm going to pick up a trade? Like, where was your mindset back then when you graduated high school?
So actually, when I was my last 2 years of high school, my junior and my senior year, I actually went to CTC. I studied to be an automotive technician.
Okay.
And I graduated from Pequay and from CTC with a degree in that. I was actually, after high school, I was going to go to Thaddeus Stevens to get like another degree in that field, but I ended up just getting a job right out of high school, and I was more just like, I'd rather learn it on the job than you trying to sit me behind a book and teach it to me. So I just went right into the field after high school.
Okay. And I mean, how was that experience? After you're in that, you're right into the field. How was that experience?
Oh, it was great. Like, I loved it. I was always like taking things apart, putting it back together. So I started off at working at Pep Boys on Lincoln Highway, and from there I just kept working, and I learned literally how to do everything from there, and all the other shops I worked at, like to the point where I could literally take your whole engine apart and put it back together.
Nice. You're doing this for how long?
Automotive. I did that for 7 or 8 years.
Okay. Wow, that's quite a bit. That's close to a decade. And we know you as DJ Jay Torres. So how close are we to DJ Jay Torres? Is it right around the 8 year mark? Is it before? When does DJ Torres even become an idea? So
I actually started getting into it out of high school. I don't even know how it really started. I just went out one day and I bought like a little mixer, went home, downloaded some music, just started goofing around, doing a couple things here and there for my friends, just doing something for fun, because when I graduated high school, I was just nonstop working. I had like no interest in anything, so I was just like, let's try this, see how it works, And then later down the road, I ended up going out one time, and I watched with Eddie Manna. Actually, ended up going out with him one time, watching it, seeing how he did it, and I was just like, yo, this thing's actually dope. Like, all right, so I started talking to Eddie about it. So Eddie was kind of giving me a little like pointers and tips and tricks like that. And then again, later down the road, I ended up running into DJ J Wills. And then that's where I like kind of really started getting into it. So Jay Wills was the one that took me under his wing. He literally taught me everything I and he's the one that like kind of formed me at the time. And at the time before my name was Jay Torres, that is, it was actually DJ Chico.
DJ Chico. I remember that name.
Yes.
I remember DJ Chico. Okay. And then what made you go from Chico to Torres? Was that like an idea? Jay Wills was like, hey, let's switch it. Because I do know Eddie Mena was scams at first.
Yeah.
And shout out to Eddie Mena, by the way. Eddie Mena was scams, and now he's Eddie Mena. And I think I might be wrong, but I think I'm right. He switched his name to reach a broader audience in business, just to be even better at what he's doing. So was that kind of what happened with Chico to Jay Torres?
So kind of, yeah. So really why I changed the name was there was a wedding I did one time, and the people there like literally loved what I did. But they gave me one complaint was my DJ name, just because, so I'm Puerto Rican, but I don't speak Spanish, and it was a Spanish crowd I was DJing for. So, you know, I was in the bachata, the salsa, the reggaeton, everything for them at this wedding, and they loved it. But they were like, how are you going to call yourself DJ Chico if you don't speak Spanish? So I was like, okay, you got a fair point there. So
It got me.
yeah. So I sat back and I was just like, all right, if I'm going to take this seriously, and like, again, once again, like this was just like for fun at one point. And then I ended up starting getting business at it. And then I ended up really getting into it. So when I really sat down, I was just like, okay, this is something I really want to do. So I need to brand myself right. So I sat down with Wills, and we were talking it over. And we were just like, why not just Jay Torres? I mean, Jay, because my first name, Justin, yeah. Torres, my last name. Just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to switch it to Jay Torres. Like, that's who I am. I'm Justin Torres. So I just decided to switch it to that, and that's been the name since.
Right. Okay. So, and all this is still within the years of you working, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You met Eddie Mena, Jay Wills kind of brought you under his wing and kind of just gave you the game, right?
Pretty much.
Do you remember your first gig, right? You're not an opener, not a tag team, first solo, 4 hours or however long it was. Do you remember that?
Yes, I actually do. It was kind of a crazy night that night. So I was actually at Sandwich Factory with Jay Wills at the time. I was opening up for him, chilling, like he hopped on and I was sitting back. He ended up getting a phone call from the watering trough. The DJ never showed up. So he was just like, I mean, I got my man, Jay Torres, I could send him over real quick. I mean, he's still new to the game. They were like, yo, we need a DJ, send him over here. So I left Sandwich Factory, I ran home, grabbed my mixer. At the time, I was rolling around with like the SB2.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally grabbed my laptop, bolted all the way over there. And when I got there, like my SB2 didn't have XLRs at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They only had the quarter in, so I had to figure out how to like plug it in. Somehow I figured it out. I don't know how I figured it out still to this day, but I figured it out. So I got everything going. I started rocking, and like it was just like it turned out to be a dope ass night. Like people were vibing, they were having fun. Like I was nervous as hell just because it was my first gig by myself, but
mm-hmm.
like it was probably one of the dopest nights, and that was 100% the first night I ever did something by myself.
Yo, that's what's up, because a lot of people's first solo, their story's not like that. It's like, oh, all hell broke loose, shit hit the fan. You know, you actually had a successful first solo night. Like, how did it feel like after that? Did that put a new battery in your back? Did that open up like, okay, I think the confidence is where it's at.
Yeah.
It's time to hit the gas pedal. Is that what happened?
So yeah, after that night happened, the next day I was just like, all right, I know I can do this. And I was just like, but I gotta upgrade everything. Like trying to figure out that whole thing out with the SB2, not having XLRs and everything. I was just like, all right, if I'm gonna take this seriously, I need to get what I need. So at that point, I started looking around, bought the SZ, or not the SZ. Yeah, the SZ. Bought the SZ, started rocking around with that. And then, just kind of kept building my music library up, kept looking up other DJs and stuff.
So who were you looking at? I know we chatted earlier. At this time, what year is it, if you can remember at this time what we're talking?
So honestly, what year COVID hit? Was it 19?
19?
So yeah, probably around then.
Okay.
So
how many years ago was that? Was that 5 years ago? No.
Yeah.
6 years ago?
5 years ago.
Okay, so 5 years ago, you're like, foot on the gas, time to step my shit up, get better equipment, right?
Yeah.
Who were the top 3 to 5 guys that you were like, okay, let me see what they're about? Because they either motivated you or whatever, right? But you're like, I gotta check these guys out because these guys are doing something right.
So what I'm first gonna say is that I'm not the only DJ in my family. So my cousin DJ Manny M, I was talking to him. He was giving me tips. Also my uncle DJ Cal. So I was talking with them while I was still learning from Wills too. Like they were all the ones like, all right, this is what you got to do to get better. You got to know your music. You got to know how to blend. You got to know how to read your crowd. So they were giving me all the things that as an upcoming DJ learning, they were giving me the go-to answers to. When COVID actually hit, that's when I really started to focus on my crafts and start looking at okay, what does this DJ do that I can improve in? What is this DJ? So I started following all the DJs around. I was watching you on live when you were killing it on Twitch or whatever it was during COVID. I was watching DJ Knowledge, Carabine, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I kept watching and see how different DJs does their transitions or their blends or being creative. Yeah. I just kept watching and when I watched it, I would sit there and be like, all right, let me try it. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see how I can put my own little spin to it. I just kept working and working and working and working until, I got it. And during the time when COVID hit, that gave me all the practice because so I got laid off work during COVID. So I was just I'm going to take this time and really try and figure out how can I be a better DJ.
So that's a perfect time because again, everybody was in the house. Yeah. So you were basically just cooking, perfecting your craft, sharpening steel. Yeah. What was, if you can recall, what's the best piece of advice any DJ, whether it's the family members who were DJs, the guys on Lakers, so what's one piece of advice that you're like, this helped me so much, I'll never forget it, I'll definitely pass this advice on to maybe somebody under me?
To be all honest, it was just every tip and trick I've learned and that people have told me, there's not really one I could specify this is the number one tip I can give you. I mean, it depends on what kind of DJ you are, because there's some DJs that are they're just blenders, they blend, they transition. Then you have scratching DJs, they're all about you gotta know your timing, you gotta know how to read that stuff. I will say Will's taught me that very well, but also who taught me that very well is DJ Knowledge. Then the first night I met Knowledge, it was at Club 23. I went in there, watched him, and I just went up to him and I asked him, I was like, hey, I don't want you to throw me on. I don't want to ask you for pay. I just want to ask you, can I open up for you one day and can you critique what you think I need to work on? And Knowledge was dope about it. He was just like, yeah, I got you. So I went out one night with Knowledge and I did what I normally do. And Knowledge just listen, you're good, but there are key things you got to work on. You got to work on your timing. Your timing's a little bit off. You're scratching, you're not there yet. You're going to get there, but for right now, stick to blends. And so I did that. And then once again, I was always that DJ or that person, you could try to explain it to me, but it's very hard for me to comprehend it. But when I sit there and see it and see you do it, I'm like, okay, I got it.
Yeah. Visual learner.
Yeah.
Visual learner. Okay. So that's interesting because, it's very humbling, right? To say, hey, look, let me know where I'm messing up, right? Let me know what things I can improve, and that's very decent, like, of knowledge to say, hey, yo, I got you, man. Like, constructive criticism. It's good. I think everybody can use some of that because we're always growing, we're always getting better, we're always trying to be as nice as we can.
Yeah.
Competition is always out there, so I think it's pretty dope that knowledge was like, hey, I got you, man. Come on in. I'll show you some extra ropes and just give you what I think are pointers and tips. Yeah.
I will say when knowledge was 100% like, listen, I'll teach you, but I'll be real with you 100%. So when I say, yo, don't do that, I'm gonna look you dead in the eyes. He wasn't wrong. He did it. When I fucked up, he was just like, bro.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Yo, that's the first was how like men communicate, but that's how it should be. Like, yo, because it's not being rude. It's just like, let's cut right to it. Don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So now you've had experience with Eddie Mena. You had experience with Jay Wills. You watch like people like myself and other people and knowledge. You have all this experience. You've been getting all this. You've been gathering all this information and getting all this game. And now you're starting to get some momentum, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that people automatically seeing your momentum may be the reason why they say, where did this guy just came out of nowhere, right? Like, why do you think people may have do you think it's the name switch, the Chico to Jay Torres, or do you think you were in the lab and then it's like, all right, my album's dropping? Because that's how I was when I started. I practiced for a year straight, probably longer than that, in the basement. And I was like, I'm going to make, at the time, it was tapes.
Yeah. At
the time and shit. The end of the tape era, not the beginning. And I was making mixtapes, meaning like actual mixes. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to pass them out to my friends, family. And after 10 to 15 people say it's like consistently say it's good, I'm ready. So I got the same thing when I came out back home. They were like, this guy came out of nowhere. But I think it's a compliment because that means you're good. To them, it's like, I just met this guy and he's good already. You see what I'm saying? So Do you think that that's kind of what happened with you?
I mean, I really don't know. I mean, it could have been the name switch because when I switched it over to Jay Torres, like, I got a lot more people saw my name because it was actually a professional look and a professional logo out there.
Yeah.
But I think it was just like the way I did stuff, like with my transitions, my the way I read a crowd and everything. Like I would just get random phone calls from like even other DJs like, hey, like I can't do this, like can you take this over for me, or can you open up for me? And I just said like, yeah, I got you. Like I just kept going out and like I started off at Marion out in Lancaster, and then went from Marion to then Urgos, and from Urgos to the Rabbit with Knowledge, and then QSB now, and like QSB is like my main spot that I DJ at a lot, and I just like people just kept realizing like, oh hey, like his name's like out there now, and then a lot of other people just kept hitting me up and just like, yo, can you help me out with this? Can you do an opening set? Yo, can you cover? And I just like I don't like book myself out like crazy throughout the year because like I always get a phone call because like someone needs like a cover, and I just like that's just how I keep myself busy. Like every time I have like a weekend free, I'm just like, oh hey, like can you cover this night? Like I need an opener, or I can't make it. I just like, yeah, I got you. So at that point, I just kept going around and around and around just because I kept helping people out, and then everyone just saw me out there at that point.
Yeah. So we're kind of caught up, right? We got your background, and it's now we're in the current now. So how do you feel about the music that was out when you started versus today, right? Because I talk to a lot of DJs, older ones, and they're like, the music is trash, the hip hop is trash. A lot of DJs who are seasoned just go right back to what they grew up on, the throwbacks, the good stuff. how do you feel about the music today, and has it changed a lot since you started?
So are we talking about like the music from like when I started DJing?
So what year is that again?
When did I start DJing?
That was COVID, 2019.
No, I started DJing. Well, when I started really getting big, it was after COVID, because that's when like everyone was just like, all right, let's try new DJs out. Let's start hitting up all these other DJs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like after COVID is where I really blew up. I mean, I was still doing some stuff before COVID, but I was just mainly doing like opening stuff.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of like music wise, it took me a while to actually figure this stuff out. But I didn't realize that some of today's stuff, actually a lot of today's music, is stuff from are just remakes from the past.
Yeah.
But in a more like, I'm not gonna say like dirty way or anything, but in just like why
dirty version.
Yeah, I'm just like, why? Like,
yeah, I said that too about a lot of records. I'm like, who the hell cleared this sample for them to remake it? And to me, the music is watered down.
Yeah.
Now I get a good remake. I'm all for a good remake, right? I think Kanye samples some really nice stuff and does some good remakes that really honors the originators, right?
Yeah.
But there is some stuff out here that's like, what do you like when you go out and do a set now? Is it, you kind of have to, because that's the norm, right? The new music is the new music, right?
Yeah.
It's the new people out there partying.
So I will say this. I'm more of like, when I'm in the club, bro, I'm everywhere. I don't stay in one genre. I'll be in hip hop, I'll be in R&B, I'll be in like Latin, like Jersey Club. I freaking love Jersey Club music. Don't ask. When I get my Jersey Club bag, I'm in there. But like, I'm everywhere. But the second I hit the trap music, I'm just like, oh. Like when I go in the trap, I hate going in the trap because it just throws off my vibe. Just because like I just
when do you like what part of the night do you get into the trap? So out of a 4-hour night, like a 10 to 2, what part of the night?
So I'll probably hit it like around 12:30. Get them all trapped up a little bit, and then
get them all trapped up.
And then, but also like you have to watch it when you play that, because there's been a lot of nights where like I'll be in the trap, in my trap bag, and then like stuff is just getting crazy.
It's getting crazy.
So that's why like if I'm gonna go in there, I'm not gonna stay in there long.
Right.
I'll probably be in there for like 30, 45 minute max.
Oh, that's a long time in the trap. 45 minutes in the trap?
I rarely hit 45 minutes. Like I'll probably stay into it like no more than 30. That's it.
That's 30 minutes is a long time in the trap.
But
you want to know how long I'm in the trap?
But here's the thing though. I don't just constantly I'm not just playing it like the whole way through. Like I bounce back and forth. Like between like,
so that's where they can hear the most trap.
Yeah.
Is it a 30-minute? Okay.
But I'm not like just sitting there playing straight trap music for 30 minutes. Like, no.
Okay. We got that cleared up, y'all. You're not going to hear 30, 45 minutes of straight trap. Okay. That's what I thought.
It's just like when I throw it, I'll throw it in there, but I'm still mixing to like between everything else too.
Okay.
But also it's just like, when you're looking at the crowd and you're seeing like what's going on, you got to be mindful about it, because sometimes shit will hit the fan.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand like how you get this crazy off of trap music.
Yeah.
Like why are we doing all this stuff? And then at that point, I'm switching myself to R&B. I love my R&B.
I was about to ask you, what's your favorite genre? Like if you had your own club.
My own club, so I'm sticking to straight throwbacks in general.
Yeah.
Like genre wise, I'm not gonna pick that. I love them all, but I'm sticking to straight throwbacks.
Can't go wrong with throwbacks.
And listen, I've had some like on my nights when I'm out, like I don't care if it's a packed night, if it's a slow night. When we got like 15, 20 minutes left in the night, bro, I'm going in my R&B bag.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you this story in a minute, but I'm putting every lady in that in that building in her feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I'm not responsible
Talk
for
your
anything.
shit. Talk your
Anything
shit. We
you
got air
go.
horns.
So, yo, hold up. Here's actually a funny story. I'll tell you this one. This was years ago. Years ago, this happened. I think I was DJing at Marion, and like, yo, it was a packed night. I'm doing my thing, you know. Get to that time where I got start calming them down, sending them out. So, you know, I'm going to my R&B bag. You know, I'm talking shit on the mic. I'm hyping up the ladies. I'll be like, yo, where that man at? Like, you better get him. Stuff like that. I had one chick literally come back to me. What was it? I think 6 months later.
Pregnant.
Yes.
For real.
And try to blame me because I put an R&B. I did an R&B set. She's like, I came in here one night and you were playing all this sexy shit, and I ended up going home with somebody. Now I'm pregnant. I'm like, how are you blaming this on me?
So wait, when she came back 6 months, she came back to the club to tell you this pregnant? Well, that's her problem.
I was like, wait a minute, hold up. So you're blaming me for the fact that you got pregnant?
Yeah.
Because of my R&B set? She's like, yeah, you were playing all this sexy ass music, and then next thing you know, I'm out here with someone else. I was like, why are you blaming me?
That's low key a compliment though.
I mean,
that's
but
I'm like, a compliment.
I'm like, how you gonna blame me that you pregnant?
Yeah, that's low key a compliment. But you know what? My rule is this, right? It's still my rule today. You cater to the ladies, right? Because the ladies bring, people don't dance as much now, but when I grew up, you cater to the ladies, it's like a domino effect. Then the men come and want to dance with the ladies.
Yeah, fact.
So like that's kind of what I grew up on, So I mean, my favorite genre is reggae. That's mine. I love the rhythms. I know reggae's like it's more the Afro beats now, and all the different genres kind of mashed up. But that's still good music, but rhythms and stuff, that's my favorite. And then now that I'm a little older, the R&B is my bag too, and I like to play that. I think it's a good way to end the night.
Actually reminds me of something on the reggae music, which is something I honestly didn't know till I started when I started learning from Knowledge. Like, there's so many tones and rhythms that have the exact same beat, but they all tell like a storyline in it. Mm-hmm. And I never knew that, and so I actually sat down and I was like,
yeah.
Whoa, that's actually crazy. Like, I didn't think about that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Dude, what's your worst DJ night? Because we all got them.
My worst DJ.
Either like the crowd just wasn't feeling you, or the crowd was ready to have a good night and you just couldn't catch them.
So I've had a few of those actually.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like.
Well, the one that's like the most epic
There
failure.
was one. I just I can't remember what happened. Actually, no. I remember where I was at. But the night was actually going very well.
Mm-hmm.
But something happened to where someone smacked my laptop.
Mm.
And I was like, fuck you all. I don't care the rest of the night. I was just like, yo, I played whatever I wanted. I just didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, because I literally just happened to catch my laptop in time before it fell on the ground and broke. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, nah. Like, stuff like that. Like,
so that got you out your zone.
Yeah, like, stuff like that. And, like, when, like, people just come up to me and, like, just, like, are being, like, straight assholes and, like, pissing me off. Like, the second you get me out of my vibe, you just fucked up the whole night. Because it, like, when I go in and DJ, like, especially, like, the warm-up sets, like, while everyone's still getting in, like, I'm warming myself up to get myself in that area where I want to be to take y'all to the party town all night.
Yeah.
But the second I leave that area and I'm like, I'm in a bad mood, then I'm just like, shit, I can't help you guys.
Let's say you're ready. You're having a good night. I mean, like, you're good, right? Your set's hot, but the crowd's not there. What's your go-to record where you're like, this is a guarantee I'm going to get a few people on the floor, people doing something? What's your guaranteed go-to record? Like, it works every single time. And not a wedding, like, not no, like, Cupid Shuffle shit at a wedding. Nah. By the way, don't ever play that at a club. There's some DJs that I hear that shit in the club.
Bro, I see some DJ play what was it?
Cha-Cha
Cha-Cha Slide. I'm like,
I just heard it within the last 3 days. I ain't gonna say who. The DJs knock that. Leave that for the weddings.
Actually, no. The one thing that threw me off, I'm not gonna say names, but I walked into Yurgo's one time.
Well, that narrows it down.
No, it wasn't one of the main DJs. It wasn't one of the main DJs.
Well, that narrows it down even more.
Oh my god! All right, now you about to
It's
make me
only
look
about
at the
two
bad.
feelings.
You about to make me look
Feelings,
at the bad
listen
guy.
up. It's like-
But yo, I walked in there and I heard the second I walked in, bro, I heard a country song. I was like, what?
But wait, which was it like? It wasn't like a Shabuzi song.
No.
Okay, it was like for real country.
No, I'm talking like redneck shit.
Okay.
About out here. I'm like,
okay.
All right, I gotta turn around and get it.
All right, well well, here you go. Let's play the other side to that. What if somebody requested that? What if somebody came up to the DJ? This was a question on my list. It says, "Hey, $50, you play this." Have you? What do you do? What does Torres does? You know, when it's like, all right, I'm at a venue. This is a hip hop spot or whatever, and they come up and give you bread to play something that's totally not. Because this stuff happens all the time. They think that they could just come in and just change the damn dial.
So
are you playing it, or how do you handle that?
Here is my issue with that, because people that aren't DJs don't understand how this works.
Yeah.
So if you come up to me and be like, yo, can you play this song? Or I got this like new hot hit single, like I just dropped this, like, can you play it? I'll drop you this. And depending on the song and like if I think it can work, I'll do it. But the problem is with people is they think you're gonna do it right away.
Right away.
And that's where I just like, all right, no. I'm just like, no, because then I'll drop the next song and I'm trying to work my way to get there for you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you coming up every 5 minutes to be like, yo, you didn't play my song. Yo, you didn't play my song. Yo, you didn't play my song. I'll literally look at you and I'll be like, get the fuck off my stage.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not
playing.
playing.
You know what you need? You need a young lady who takes all, like they can't talk to you, right? Preferably a lovely lady, right? And when they come up, you just do this. You don't even say anything. This works. I'm telling you, it works all the time. Unless the young lady has to go to the bathroom, and then you're up. But other than that, you get a nice, young, lovely lady, and they take all the requests. Because even it going through somebody else to get to you, it's a step, right?
True.
So that's what I do, right? And then I think if you, because I don't get this too much. I don't get young lady you, by the way. I don't get the out of the ballpark requests too much. Meaning like so far like the country thing. You know what I mean? Unless it's a wedding or something like that.
Like an event that. But like we're talking like the clubs or something.
Yeah.
Like
you know,
most of the requests like normally fall into like what I'm already
what you're already doing. It should. It should if you it should. Yeah. But you know, so back to the absolute go-to record. I have mine. I'll tell you mine after you tell me yours.
See, yo, that's tricky though. Like, cause it really
like in any room, it doesn't matter
where I'm at.
Doesn't matter. This record works everywhere.
Oh, what is my go-to record?
Like, all right, now when I say everywhere, I mean like not literally everywhere, but you know, like if you're doing like a predominantly pop spot, hip hop,
if I'm
Spanish,
doing
like those. We're not talking about like, you know, heavy metal shit or country shit.
I mean, it's worked for me just because the way like I've used it in the past, which is more money, more problems.
Oh, the Diddy shit.
Yeah. But with this whole thing going around right now, I don't know if that's gonna work anymore.
So that's worked guaranteed every time?
Yeah, depending.
Okay.
Like depending, but it's like the way I do it.
Okay.
Like,
how do you do it?
Can't give you my secrets. You're just gonna have to come out and see.
All right. So my record is Fat Man Scoop. Faithful. Is it? Faithful. I think it's Faithful. Be Faithful.
Be Faithful. Honestly, I was actually gonna go with actually no. You want to know another one that always works for me?
What?
I don't know why. Obviously, actually, I do.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Candy Rain.
Okay, that works everywhere though.
Bro, I've gotten that shit.
Have you ever played that like all Spanish spot?
So I can't say that because I've never really been in an all Spanish spot. So I wouldn't know.
Okay, predominantly white spot.
Yeah, but
Okay.
like yeah,
Okay, that's a good
That's a-
record.
that's a good record, though.
That does work. That does work, especially in your R&B set.
yeah.
That definitely works. Okay. What record do you well, not what record. What genre do you typically start the nights off with? Like, do you come in hot? Do you warm them up? Do you preheat
So I
the
kinda-
oven, or you just
So
throw that
I kind
motherfucker
of
in the
just
mic?
like, So on normal nights, I kind of do like a warm up set.
Mhm.
You know, probably just a little bit of throwbacks, some Chris Brown and stuff like that. Just like keep it mellow while everyone's still getting in.
Yeah.
So I kind of like to keep it, chill but popping till midnight, and then when midnight's hit, game on.
Game
Like
on.
I'm everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Jersey Club, Dembo, like
Yeah,
whatever. So that night at the Halloween party we did at QSB though,
He had a good set, man. We were talking about on the way home. I was like, he killed that shit. And we didn't stay to the end. We stayed long enough to be like, because I think that was my first time hearing you for that duration of time.
Yeah.
I've heard you at 23. I was there. You might not have seen me, but I was like there.
I'm about to say
Oh.
you were at 23 one time.
We were me and her at 23 for something we were there for. But it wasn't enough for me to like, you know what I mean? But this was when I was like, when we walked in, I was like, oh. And shout out to QSB. That was just a good night, bro. That was a good night.
But also like, yo, when I walked in there, it was already like busy in there. So
Yeah.
I just had to go full gas right to the start. And I went all the way to the end.
Isn't it decent when like the crowd's waiting like there? You know what I mean? You're not walking into like here. Nobody's here.
Yeah.
But nobody's supposed to be here. We ain't flopping. But you know what I'm saying? Isn't it good when it's like some ambiance there, some people there already? Like Halloween was a great night, and I said something to the management before we left, and I was like, "Yo, this was like teamwork here. Like the promo was good, us doing the drop with you was good. The venue supported it, and they came out, and it was just a good ass night, man. And you did your thing, man. You were in the zone. Yo, I enjoyed the music that night. Absolutely.
Yeah. That little one scratch I was doing, like scratching a song.
Yeah.
Yo, I didn't even realize you were behind me when I was doing that. Like I was just like in there, just going at it.
I see you.
And then I see you be like, bro, you killed that. I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, you right behind me.
No, it's like the energy, like, and I think we need more of this support. Like, to me, it's like, yo, I like to see DJs killing it. And I'm like your hype man at that point. I'm like, yo, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see you doing your thing. And it's good, man. I think, you know, healthy competition is good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because we all want to like sharpen still. Like, you know, it's like if we all had our DJ setups and we just going back and forth, that's friendly competition. So I think it's good, man. I think you did a really, really, really good job. I think some people are in trouble. I think some people's jobs might be on the line. And this is just from me being in all the rooms. And I like that type shit. You know what I'm saying? I like seeing, because it makes people want to work. You ever imagine you being in a town and it's just you and another guy and that's it.
Yeah.
It gets, after a while, it gets boring. Like, you want to be like, okay, like even with the equipment, right? Not everybody started off with a facade.
Yeah, true.
Right? Everybody had the little fucking 4-foot table, tan table and shit. You'd be lucky if you had a sheet, some tablecloth, right? Usually just the sticks, right?
That's how I
And
started.
then I had a facade a while ago. But I know I wasn't the first guy. And then it's like, oh, I see these guys. I gotta get a facade. Now it's the tube lights. You got tube lights?
I don't. I am looking into it, but
Yeah.
those
All
prices
right.
are ridiculous.
But you got to get the right tube lights, right? You can't get the right tube lights are thick. You can't get the little
I think I
candle
know.
lights.
I think I know which one you're talking about. I think Knowledge has those, and he actually brought it to QSB one time, and I think he brought
They
it.
got to be like that one. Minimum.
Oh no. So his are different. I forget what they are, but those are dope. Which I was looking into those. But I mean, I understand what you're saying by like friendly competition and all that stuff like that. Yo, like there was one time
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
There was a night I actually put together myself at QSB. I put a Jersey versus PA battle between me and my cousin, and it was
I think you told me about that.
Yeah, and that was me and my cousin have always been like competition wise to each other.
Yeah.
So the fact that we were both on the same stage and everything like that, especially doing something that we both love, that turned into a crazy night. So
what's next for Jay Torres? You know, you've got a good amount of experience in the DJ game. Before you answer that, what would you recommend? What would be your advice to somebody who's just trying to get in? They're 19, 20, man. They're in college, like, damn, do I want to do another semester? Or I've been thinking about DJ, but I don't know. Like, if you had to talk to them, what would you tell them?
So my advice to anyone that wants to be a DJ now is literally know your music. Like, know what's in your library. Know how to count it. And just have fun with it. Yeah. Like, there's three main things that I always do as a DJ. Is just like, or not that I do, but that I always like remind myself is just like, know your music, know how to read your crowd, and just have fun with it. Because when you're sitting there trying to think, oh, what can I play next? Oh, what can go together? If you're thinking about it too much, you're just gonna screw it up. But if you're not thinking about it, you're just having fun with it, it all folds together.
So are you saying, are your crates organized?
No.
I already say mine isn't either.
No.
At all.
So
I mean, I have a
admit,
little organization, but
yeah. So I have a little bit, but mostly my crates are just for like quick grabs. Like, if I'm trying to do something really quick, or if like, say like you popped out, you and I are talking, and I'm not paying attention to how much time I have left, and I was like, oh crap, I can go to one of the crates, grab something, and drop it real quick. But the way I always do it is I literally stay in my all folder and I just scroll, and like I just pick random stuff and I figure out how I can do this. But that's how I was taught by Wills, and it actually made me a better DJ by that, because when you have crates and you're looking and like you have piles and piles of crate, you start building a momentum and you start repeating. You start playing the same stuff over and over and over again. But when you stay out of your crates and you gotta scroll and you gotta actually think.
I get what you're saying. I mean, I do that too. I don't like to be stuck, and I actually don't like to plan anything when it comes to the music. I actually like just going and be like, all right, this is where we're starting.
Yeah. People have asked me like, yo, like, so what's on the playlist for tonight? Like, when I've gone to the club, I was just like, I don't got a playlist.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? But there are a lot of DJs, that have a playlist. They go in with like the blueprint of how the night's gonna go. I just think that's a recipe for failure, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know,
I like to go in and freestyle, because when I freestyle, that's me warming myself up, trying to warm up the crowd, and then when I see the crowd that's there, I start reading them. Depending on, I'll drop stuff here and there to see how they react to it. Once I find that sweet spot, I'm like, okay, bet. Take it over from there, and I just roll.
I got two questions. Which one? Let's go first. All right. How do you go to the bathroom? Because wait. No, this is a real question.
No, I actually have.
That's just like down the block.
I actually have a method for this.
Yeah. All right. Explain this bathroom method. Because remember we were in the car. I was like, how the fuck did they go to the bathroom? That shit is so far. And if it's busy, I can see if it's dead. If it's busy.
So nah. I literally have a game plan for this every time. I don't know how I always make it work, but if I really, really gotta go, I am dropping Moment for Life.
That's only 3.5 minutes, bro.
I have an extended version of it.
Oh,
so it's a little longer.
Okay.
Gives me enough time to run up,
come
back down, and drop the next song.
Okay.
Now, if I always got like someone there that I know, I'll just be like, yo, sit here. If this song goes, hit that button. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
But I always have a method. Normally, I can wait until the end of the night, but there's been like a few times where I just like, yo, I gotta go. I'll be back.
Get Me Body is a guarantee you'll make it and back. That's a good 5.5 minute record. Straight up. Straight up. All right, what was my next question? Damn. It was a good one too. All right, so what's next for Jay Torres? What are your next, what is it, 2024, 2025 now? Where you want to be at 2030?
So, honestly, I want to start getting myself to the point where like I could travel and like do this. Like I want to be able to. I'll be in Harrisburg in the 23rd. This is my first time out in Harrisburg. But I really want to get out to like Jersey. I'm working a couple things out with my cousin. Maybe try to work some stuff out there. But like I want to go out to like Baltimore. Definitely want to try and get out to Florida. I want to be able to travel the world and do this and be able to do what I love and take it out everywhere else than where I have it right now.
What do you think it takes to get to that?
I can't give you that answer because I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
Yeah, because I think that's every DJ's thing is the travel, and it's almost like make it into the league because not everybody gets to do that. I've experienced it a little bit, and then when I experienced it, I was like, oh, okay, moving around. But then I was like, this ain't normal. This is like kind of, I don't even know how I got to be moving around. Maybe it was just the right time. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I got to travel a lot and spin, and it's really like the ultimate DJ experience. Like, because DJing in the same city over and over and over is like, you get tired really quick.
Yeah.
But when you travel to different cities, you're like there for a night or a weekend. You drop, you know what I mean? So like, yeah. I don't know how. I don't know. Even though I've done it, I don't know how I would advise somebody to do that. At this point.
It's
a lot of stuff is agency though, right?
Yeah.
When you go to the West Coast, you go to these bigger cities. They're agencies, right? The DJs are talents to the agency, and the agency has the contracts with the clubs.
Yeah.
Scam Artist is a good agency, man.
Well, it's really about just like building connections with people. Like if you build connections with a lot of people, like one of those connections could be like, hey, like I know this guy named Jay Torres. He could be a good fit for here. And then that's how you just really start branching out and stuff. Like I've met so many people to the point where at one point I was just stuck in Lancaster. I didn't know how to get out of Lancaster. And then after meeting all the other DJs that I work with now and a lot of other people, like even from like weddings or like a private event stuff, like they've recommended me to the point where now I started traveling and stuff to different counties in Pennsylvania and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It was really just about having connections with people and being able to get along with one another. Right. That goes a long way. And also marketing online.
Yeah.
So that's something I do struggle with a lot. I am hopefully starting next year, I definitely want to try and build that up more. So that's definitely a plan for next year.
What do you recommend DJing for somebody who wants to raise a family?
I'm gonna go with yes, actually, because
you recommend it.
That already has a family, or there's someone, or someone that like wants to have a family.
Like it's a guy, he's 23, 24, and he wants to do both at the same time. He doesn't have the girl yet, but he wants to, he need the girl to get it done. You know what I'm saying? But so he wants to find the girl, get married, have kids at the same time. He wants to break into the DJ scene and start killing the clubs. What would you tell him? Would you tell him like do one before the other, do it at the same time, or say keep dreaming?
See, I really don't know how to answer that question, just because Like, I've been a DJ for going on 7 years now.
Yeah.
I personally haven't been in an actual relationship out of high school just because, like, at least for me, like, yo, I'm always getting accused of something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm either getting accused of, oh, you're cheating. I asked you to come to the club with me. I was like, or I get home, say 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't send a text that I'm home, and next thing you know, I'm getting in trouble the next morning. So, I mean, but it really depends on the person you're with, too. Like, if that person understands is like, this is what you do, this is what you want to do, and they support you in it, then I don't see why not. But I will say that if you're with someone that's like, that's going to question that and question you about it, I'll be like, you got to, I mean, at that point, you got to make an option. I'm like, what do you want more?
Yeah, I was about to ask you how big is support from, you know, the person that you're gonna potentially be your future wife, like in the industry that we're in. You know, like, I mean, I grade that as very high. You know, I think the support, I do agree with the right person, you know, but I think the support has to be there.
Yeah, like if they're not gonna support you in what you're doing, and like it's just like a constant argument, then personally for me at least, I would just be like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what like I love. But if you can't support that, I just don't think it will work. But I mean, granted, I haven't found the one that I can make this work and be able to sustain that. I mean, but I'm focusing more on myself and my business than you know, out there trying to look right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything that what's like a fun fact about you? Like something where like they had to know you. Like what's something that's like, man, they never figure this shit. Like, do you have any like weird shit you like to eat, or like if you had to describe yourself on a dating app?
On a dating
right?
app?
And you're like, you know, I never been on one, but I would just imagine it's similar to a job application with some extra questions. Like, well, let's say they had like interesting interests. What's your interest outside of DJing? Like, what's some stuff? Because you never know. Some ladies might be like, damn, this dude, he all that, and you might get dropped some stuff where they might be like, oh, me too. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you run backwards really fast or some shit like that?
Hell no. I'll fall on my ass and probably crack the back of my head open.
Yeah. What's like a hidden talent?
Hidden talent? I don't even know.
No? You don't know? What do you like to do, like, if it wasn't DJing and fixing cars? What's something you like to do? You play ball? You sports guy?
Yeah, no. So, I mean, I go out and play some basketball every once in a while with my brother and some friends, you know, play some video games here and there.
Yeah. All right.
Sleep. I'll be honest.
All right. So if you had to take a girl on a date to impress them in Lancaster,
why you gotta ask that question?
If you had to impress them, there's some spots that are guaranteed. Like,
see, but
okay, I see how you coming. She gonna talk about you at work the next day. Like, he took me over here.
See, I hate when people ask me, yo, where would you take a girl out for the first date? The reason why I hate that question is because it really depends on the girl. Like, how, like when you first meet her, when you get to know her and all. Like, there could be one girl I can meet and I'll be like, yo, you like dope and all, like, and like I could be like, let's go to the movies, and she's all about it. But then there could be another girl just like she wants to have a night. It's like, you gotta know the person first. Like, I'm not that type of dude that like, oh, I'm taking the same girl, or not the same girl. I'm taking any girl I take on a date or first date to the same spot every time. Like, it depends.
I get what you're saying, but in this hypothetical question, let's say you don't know nothing about the girl. Let's say it's a blind date. You know nothing.
Then
about
that's different.
Yeah.
If you would have put it as a blind date question, it's just like, all right, then that's different.
All right, it's a blind date.
Oh.
Would you ever go on a blind date?
I don't know.
Okay.
Never really thought about it.
Okay, so let's say this is a blind date, and you know nothing but maybe her name, and you got to set it up. But you want to be impressive, but maybe not overly impressive. Where it's like that sweet spot, because Lancaster, we love Lancaster City. You know, it has a lot of culture. It's very artistic. We love the people, and there's a lot of spots. Like, there's plenty to choose from.
Yeah, true that. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I honestly wouldn't know. Like, I'm not really good at planning that stuff. Like,
Okay.
I do my best. But,
Okay.
Like, if you looking for someone spontaneous and all that, hey, yeah, that's not me.
That's not you?
I was like,
Okay.
sorry, you knocking on the wrong door.
Okay. You think that okay, so let's say you go on this date, right? And the bill comes. And
Oh, I will 100% take care of the building.
Okay.
I am not that type of dude where I'm like, all right, so we splitting this or something. Like, nah.
So you're not
If we're
50-50 dude.
Nah, if we're out on a date, like, I have the bill. It don't even bother to pull your wallet out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unless we go, now, if it was like a few dates and then you said like, hey, I want to take you out on a date and I gotta cover. Okay, I won't argue that, but
Yeah.
But I will always,
Yeah.
as a man, just because of the way I was raised, by my dad and all, like, yeah,
Right.
I always got the bill.
Right. Now let's say remember you said that. Now let's say she's ordering everything. I'm talking, and y'all go to 401 Prime?
I've heard of it. I've never been there though.
Oh, some high ass shit, right? No joke. You guys would just happen to be there, and she's like, champagne here, let me try something different. And she just hit appetizer, everything, desserts, everything. The bill is now $900.
Let's just say this.
And the bill comes, and you already know it's gonna be high because you're like, damn, she done fucking taste tested everything. The bill come is $9 and some change.
Listen, you want the honest answer to that truth?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna pay that bill. I'm gonna hurt my bank account. But I'm gonna tell you, I ain't never talking to that girl again.
Okay.
Block. Sorry, I ain't about that.
Okay.
Because I'm not about to have you be the one to be like, oh, he didn't treat me like he made me pay the bill. Nah, we ain't playing that card. I'll pay the bill, but you ain't ever hearing from me again.
Okay. That's respectable. That's respectable. That's respectable. I don't think
I'm definitely gonna go hit him for a few months while I fucking build my bank account back up.
Build it back up. All right, man. That was I like to end off on some other topics, but that was good. That was good. Listen, anything else? Because I feel like we'll probably have you back again and shit. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, for sure.
anything else in this particular moment that you want to talk about, or maybe just catch you on the next one?
Nah, but I do got one question for you though.
Okay. Usually I skate through and nobody asks me shit.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, go ahead.
So when we gonna do a night together? You know?
Oh,
Drop a set.
I'm down for whenever, man. I mean, I don't have as many. I remember you asked about the venues.
Yeah.
I don't have as many venues as I used to, but I'm always down to drop a set. I think that, well, I spent off of, what is that? The
Rain 12s.
Nah, they stayed. I don't bring. It's too damn heavy. The controller. What's the 4-channel Rain?
Oh, that new one that just came out?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I DJ off the Rev 7.
Yeah, so this is basically like the Rain version of that. So yeah, I mean, Primani's. I told you about that. It's very different from QSB.
Okay.
It's nowhere. It would never ever be considered a nightclub.
Okay.
But it's fun. It's diverse, and you can play anything.
Okay.
Right? You can play sing-alongs. Then you can go to trap. Then you can go to EDM. Then you can go to house. You can go to reggae. Like, you can just do whatever. So I mean,
but I feel like we should put a night together. You know, like a little friendly competition.
Oh yeah, man, I love that. I love that, and you know what? I do that. We don't do it anymore, but I used to do it with Showtime and Big Mike. I'm like, yo, because I feel like men encourage other men. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like let's, we like, it's kind of being in a gym.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, man, throw another plate on. Come on, 2 more reps. I feel like we need that. I feel like we need that, and I feel like instead of everybody thinking, it's something else, like, yo, let's get it. So I'm down. I'm always down. I'll show up to any invitation. But yeah, I'll be at QSB. I do got some QSB dates. 22nd, and I got 2 December dates at QSB, I think. Yeah, so either we could do something at QSB. I would say let me do my first one first because I ain't been in there yet.
You got that.
First one in there. We in there battling and shit. We ain't even worry about the dead club. We in there just scratch the shit off like a night. And then definitely Pramani's band, and then anything else. But I know more things gonna be coming down the line next year. So yeah, I'm always down, bro. Some opportunity. Let's do it. Let's get it. All right, man. Listen, Jay Torres, we wrapping it up. I appreciate you for coming out here, brother.
No problem.
Behind
man.
the business. This is what we do, man. Club King style. Check it out, man. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.